Okie dokies, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 here between Blast and RoX.KIS. We do have Mr. Creed going to be spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner as the green Terran. And up to the north we do have Blast Ronson going to be spawning here once again as the red Protoss, who has been on a tear already. First a PvP on Telery Malta, and secondly PvZ on Terminus SE, where he did some really nice Phoenix pressure, to be perfectly honest. I really liked that. And actually, that was kind of... That hidden base, now that I think about it, that hidden base for Abfa actually kind of worked against him. He took precautions with Spore Crawlers there, so he'd spent like 300 minerals and 2 drones there, for something that he actually never needed. So, unfortunately for Mr. Abfa, I mean, Phoenix is a really nice opening just in general. It makes Zergs so wary and takes so many precautions to be able to deal with. So for now, what is Creed going to be able to do to defeat the 2-time winner, Mr. Ronson? I don't know. I'm not too sure what he's going to be able to do here. Looks like he's rallied straight back to those minerals. I thought he was rallied to the Vespene Geyser, and then I was like, why would you be getting a Gas Geyser after Barracks? There we go. Gas Geyser going to be going down here for Creed. So he's not going to be denying any scouting of his opponent here, not walling in, so he's more than happy and content to allow him to see this gas. And off the back of that, you know, Terran has a huge amount of options. They can either go the 2 racks or 1-1-1, or go for some very cool. I mean, you know, it's still a 1-1-1, but some awesome Hellion Marine aggression with drops can be so strong against Protoss. In my opinion, very underused. Very useful indeed. Basically because you just don't really have that many Stalkers in the earlier stages of the game to be able to deal with it sometimes. And Hellions zip around so goddamn fast that it can be very hard to keep up with them, and they end up killing a ton of probes. So, for now, Gateway is finished. Cybernetic's Core going to be on the way, and Mr. Creed going to poke in here, see exactly what's going on. Nothing too crazy for him just yet. Keep an eye on this second gas here, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of a look at that. If there were a second gas early, obviously he'd be thinking something like, well, maybe DT Tech is on the way, or anything like that, but for now, Romson just playing very standard. Ooh, 1 gate expangative going down, and we have a react. Oh, okay, so we have Reapers on the way, as well as concussive shells, so he may end up just using this Reaper to get 1 or 2 probes, but he might actually just use it to be able to grant him high ground vision if he's going to try and poke away at this, at this place just in general. It's hard to say. Because they can, there's actually 1 or 2 timings that Terran can do with Reapers and Marauders, which is the weirdest thing. But it can happen from time to time. So Creed going a little bit fancy here. It's going to be expanding off the back of this. So not too much gas being utilized right now. And we do have Marauders on the way. This Reaper's going to be great, to be perfectly honest with you. It's almost like a free card to actually see what on earth is going on. Right now, Romson wants to protect his natural. He doesn't want any Marines coming up here being pesky and poking around. So this Reaper's going to be able to dive in, maybe get 1 or 2 probe kills, but more importantly, he's going to be able to see if there's any second gateways going down, maybe a quick robo. Romson, I wouldn't even mind if Romson actually went for Phoenix play once again. Phoenix in PvT can be so goddamn good. But really, again, kind of underutilized. It's something that you see Hero doing a lot. And does he get a second probe kill? He's going to cheese for now. We do have Stim on the way behind this for Mr. Creed. Second gateway going to be going down here. And that probe will end up dying. Meanwhile, though, at the front of the base of Creed, a little bit of a poke. Not going to be able to do too much, though. Romson actually not paying attention to this at all. Loses a Stalker and a Zealot for literally nothing. So Mr. Creed already taking a slight lead here. Not in terms of economy, as Mr. Ronson did go for that 1 gate expand. But, you know, he has already killed off 1 or 2 probes here. So 2 workers already killed. Quite nicely done. But still 29 workers to the 23, but mules are obviously pretty darn good as well. As you can see, we'll be able to even things out in just a second once this natural gets up and running. So nice little poke in here with this contingent of... Sacrificing those units early on was really not a good idea, as now Creed is going to be able to go for a little bit of bunker pressure And, oh, if he gets that pylon, he will be able to supply block his opponent, which is going to be very, very brutal indeed. He does have another pylon warping in. All the probes going to need to be pulled off the line, and hopefully he's going to get a nice surround, and he does get quite a nice surround on all of these Marauders. Probes are actually pretty good against Marauders, which is always something weird to see. But there you go, the Marauders do indeed die. This Reaper, though, having his way with quite a few of these probes. 5 workers killed during that entire engagement. So not a bad trade for Creed, to be perfectly honest with you. A pylon dead and 5 more workers killed. Unit counting station right now shows 32 workers to the 29 workers, but the mules causing some very, very useful income to sway in Mr. Creed's favour right now. So Bunker going to be going down at the front. And looks like we might have a little bit of 3-gate pressure here from Blast Romson to be able to follow up what his opponent's already done to him. Twilight Council going down in the back. So I'm interested to see how he's going to follow this up. Is he going to go for Blink, or is he going to go for DTs? I don't mind DTs in any way, shape, or form. Terrans, you know, a lot of people will think to themselves, well, Terran's got Scan, that's really, really damn useful against DTs. Yes, but for every DT, if you can force out a Scan, it's actually not too bad a trade, considering that the opportunity cost of that initial mule would indeed be that 300 minerals. So it looks like we might have a very, very quick third going down. We already have the third command center going down here for Creed, kind of Empire Cast style, but Empire Cast does like to go for that third command center a little bit quicker than this. So we have Armor on the way as well as Blink, so no DT play going to be coming along, like we were kind of suggesting earlier. And for now, not much else going on. We do have the medevacs already coming out for Creed, so this is going to allow him. Maybe he will go for a 2 medevac push. Right now he doesn't have a huge amount of bio out, just adding on additional barracks here in order to be able to get things rolling. We have the Nexus going to be going down here for Mr. Romson for this third. So 2 more gateways being added for Romson. Nothing too crazy going on right now. Nice additional pylon. That one pylon there for a while was being very precarious. If that had gone down via a drop, that would have been very annoying. Stimming up 2 Marauders in order to be able to chase down this poor, lonely Zealot. Poor dude. So is Creed going to check the third? That would be an interesting thing to see. Right now a probe has actually snuck past and he will be able to put a pylon down. He could go for a little bit of a warp in as a countermeasure in order to be able to deal with his opponent, especially since he has force fields here to be able to separate any kind of units that do come up. But those 2 medevacs very, very useful indeed, and those Stalkers need to get away for now. That is, despite that being a lot of Stalkers, those Marauders have the firepower of several Raging Horses. And he does notice the third, so he might be able to take this out. He just try and snipe off a medevac though. That would be huge if he was able to get that. And it looks like Protoss is going to be able to crush this entire force. I'm surprised he actually didn't throw a force field up on at the middle of that ramp, but there you go. Nice Blink forwards. That's exactly why you get Blink in PvT. We'll be able to take out those medevacs very, very quickly. And those are the expensive units that you really want to take out. So for Creed right now, that wasn't exactly the best trade at all. Again, losing those medevacs, very, very pesky. Right now we have double Robo being produced here for Romson. And the problem is for Creed is that every single medevac he ends up losing in this earlier stage is more time taken away if Mr. Romson actually wants to go for, say, double Colossus production, which is something that could absolutely demolish Creed in this given situation, because he's already lost 3 medevacs. That is pretty darn big. So we do have +2 on the way, as well as the second forge going to be going down for the weapons upgrades. Mr. Creed has expanded to his third, and for now, again, I love the positioning of these pylons, just in case he wants to warp in anything at the side here. Also, they're going to be great. Right now, there's very little room up to the north here that drops can actually sneak by. And look at this. As I say that, come on, there we go. Oh look, a drop. Fantastic stuff. So he does know that that is on the way, and he will be falling back to maybe deal with that. I'm certainly hoping he does do, as we do have 2 more gateways back here. I'm not too fond of the SimCity of Romson right now. If there's actually a drop in the back here, there's not a huge amount of room that his units have to move around in the back and try and deal with it. Again, he actually did kill that one of those pylons off, which is pretty standard. And we'll have to blink back for now. Marauders dealing with things very, very easily. Do have a Robo Bay going down, though. Excuse me. And look at this. This is the problem. He has Zealots. He doesn't have charge, though. It's going to be kicking in just a bit. But if Creed actually drops behind this, Zealots are going to have a really, really hard time dealing with that. He does have one cannon here, yes, which is very, very useful as well. But, oh, wait a minute, at the same time, Creed actually going to be pushing into this third and taking out quite a few workers. Already taken out around 7 during this entirety. And right now, evening up the odds very, very considerably. And actually going to be able to kill off a huge portion of Ronsum's army as well. We'll flee back for now. Stalkers weren't in the greatest position to be able to deal with that, unfortunately. So Creed doing a good job up the top as well. Going to be able to put on some pressure. Already killed off that cannon. Could take this pylon down, underpowering 2 of these gateways. Charge is under effect. And he does have it there to be able to deal with this. But look at this nice bottle neck here for Creed. And this is the exact problem. Having all these buildings in the way in order to be able to stifle any kind of drop play is very, very annoying. Did drop those units to be able to take out pylon there. So for now we have +3 armor going down, as well as +1 weapons for the Protoss. 2-2 on the way for Mr. Creed, and we do have that Colossus production kicking in. So, how much of this does Creed see right now? He's getting a 4th command center. He only has the 1 starport, which is currently not making anything. He is considerably far ahead in terms of supply, but right now that supply is tied up in not as efficient units as it would be, considering that he's going to be up against Colossus very soon. And if this Colossus count gets out of hand, it's going to be so difficult for him to deal with. There we go. There's the money scan revealing that Colossus tech. He might actually just push straight in here, as, I mean, these aren't the most efficient units against Colossus, but since it's not that big a ground army, he might be able to do something. Nice Force Field will be able to separate a lot of this army, squashing them up against these Zealots. And with the Guardian Shield coverage on those Zealots and the +2 armor, it's very, very useful. He did not wait for any kind of timing there for his upgrades. +2 is nowhere near completion, nor is +2 on the armor either. So Creed is in full retreat right now, trying to blink forwards to take out some of these medevacs. And 2 do fall very, very quickly. These 2 Colossus are so damn strong right now. 2 Vikings are on the way, but 2 more Colossus are in production. Lovely Force Field will be able to kill off a ton of SCVs, as they do fall back very, very quickly as well. So for now, Ronsum is doing so nicely in this 3rd game. Looks like he will be able to put on a little bit more pressure at this expansion, but I'm not so sure he should overstay his welcome. This Bioforce, I mean, those Vikings are rendezvousing now, and he's actually going to blink forwards, try and take out these Vikings as quickly as he possibly can do. The Colossus are not firing the Bio there, they're just trying to take out this orbital command, which is being repaired profusely. So now he's going to be able to stim up and snipe out these Colossus, and that wasn't the best control from Ronsum. Not at all. He really needed those Colossus taking out that Bio. If they had been doing whilst the Stalkers were focusing down those Vikings, he would have been in an amazing position. All the Bio would have died and he would have had free reign over this entire expansion. Ronsum, though, he's by no means down and out. He is expanding down to the south, and he has more Colossus tech on the way. Going to be transferring his tech a little bit into this Templar tech. Maybe going to be going for some Archons here. And, I mean, he already has 3 Colossus. If he has, like, you know, 1 or 2 more Colossus in this ball, and then he makes the tech switch into, say, you know, the Archons or the High Templars, he's going to have a composition which is very, very difficult for a Terran to deal with, especially if this 4th is slow to actually get up and running. Right now, all the SCVs transferring up there. He needs the gas from it, though, to be perfectly honest. Now that I say that, though, he has 1,600 gas saved up, and this is something that a lot of Terrans are running into nowadays. An inability to be able to spend their gas. Nice positioning with these Colossus. He needs all these Zealots engaging this Bio as well, though, because right now he doesn't have the ground forces to be able to deal with this. And all the Colossus will eventually die. Does kill off a lot of Bio, but is it gonna be enough? This is so damn close, so even. Look at this, right now both players hovering at around the 110 supply mark, but Ronsum all throughout has been able to kill so many workers. Yes, he loses all his Colossus, but those Zealots, I mean, despite the fact that they weren't engaging the Bio, they were able to do a lot of damage. So, it's kind of blow for blow, really. So we do have High Templars in the back here. This 4th is well up and running for Ronsum. Needs the guys in the gas, though, if he's going to be able to commit to this Templar tech a little bit more. And Creed for now. You have more Zealots down here, wailing away. Not to be able to do too much. 3 workers did get killed by those Zealots. That is pretty cool. So what are we going to see now? 2 more Zealots do come along to be able to shut down this entire expansion. 3-3 is on the way for Terran, though. And where is Ransom going to go with his tech choice? Right now we have a Ghost Academy on the way, so he's going to be able to counter this Templar tech quite well. Oh, he's making a lot of Immortals. Now, the only problem with the transitions that Ransom's making right now is the fact that if he's going to go for High Templar and Immortals and or Archons, all of that pretty much gets countered by EMP. So what we're going to need to see from Ransom is a very, very good split of his units. Very, very important. Right now, though, there's a lot of supply tied up in these Vikings, which is going to be pretty much useless, other than killing this one Colossus off, which isn't exactly the best thing to be doing. And, well, I mean, it's good to be killing the one Colossus off, but once it's dead, then you have to land everything in. Ooh, is he just going to go for a huge, huge drop at the 4th? He may end up doing. There's currently one cannon here to defend, so he may be okay, but I suspect not. As it's... Oh, no, a second cannon! Sorry, a second cannon against this potential Doom drop going to be coming along. But at the same time, though, up to the north, looks like our Protoss buddy is going to be moving into position. Right now, he's got a very, very nice supply lead here. As he does warp in a few more units. It looks like we're going to have the drop in the 4th at the same time as the execution of this 3rd. Looks like he's forced to cancel that expansion there. Hold the bio running back as quickly as possible. But look how much damage this drop is going to be able to do to Ransom's mining base. Right now, Creed has been able to establish his 4th down here. That is a lot of Zealots, though. I'm not so sure he's going to be able to hold. He's pulling off all the SCVs. Nothing in the bunker either. Not the best situation to be there. Storms go down. Very nice Storms. And is Ransom going to be able to break this? Right now, his income is being completely crippled. But so is Creed. He only really has this mining base left. No gas going to be coming in at all. And SCV's trying to kill a Colossus. That's not something you see every day. So, for now, the Zealots doing a very, very good job in the main of Creed. This small contingent of units is going to be all that stands between him. Is he going to go home? I think he might actually go home. I was assuming that he'd actually just go for the trade. But right now, everything of Creed's is being demolished. Unit counting station shows 5 Immortals out along with this Colossus to be able to put on the hurt. GG, ladies and gentlemen, as Romson goes 3 games up against RoX.KIS. Are we going to have another all-kill? Is this going to happen? 2 days in a row, that's just crazy. We'll be back in just a second.